It has been 2 months since the release of Blackbird. I just want to say again a big thank you for everyone who showed up on November 7th and helped me launch that book out into the world with a weird online book launch party. But all things considered, it went really well. And I've not quite reached my goal of selling 400 books, which I need to do in order to be eligible for an Ontario Arts Grant that can help fund my next project. And if you have followed me on Instagram, you may have seen a little teaser of that I actually shared earlier this week. A little sneak at what might be coming from me in the near-ish future. If you haven't yet bought a copy of Blackbird, please consider doing so. It does help me tremendously as I continue on this journey. I have started to get feedback from people who have been reading it. So my mother drove to my house, stood in my mudroom with a mask on to tell me that she didn't like my book because she didn't want to tell me over the phone. And I was like, Mom, it's okay. I don't like my book either. It deals with such heavy issues. It's not a nice story. And I don't blame her for her feelings. And I think it's so funny that she drove here to tell me that. What she did say is that after reflecting on it for a few days, she has come to appreciate the way it has forced her to look at the world in a new way and to maybe be less quick with her judgments of other people. So I'm counting that as a big win. Whether she liked it or not, it made her think. So, job well done, maybe? I don't know. I think that's great, and I'm pretty proud to have produced a work that is stirring up conversation. I actually had a coworker yesterday who received the book during the holidays tell me that it wrecked her. Right away I was like, oh, that's great, she loved it. But then I got home and I was like, does wrecked mean like hated? I don't know. Either way, the book is being read and I am so grateful. Please consider getting yourself a copy. It is available as a digital version through Kindle, and that's a much cheaper way to enjoy it and a great way to still support me. So in celebration of 2 months, I thought it would be fun to go back a little bit and reshare part of that conversation that I had with some kids regarding my book and writing and reading and stories. And so I'm going to share that. A lot of it got cut out for the launch party just because there was so much to cover. So I would love to share that whole conversation with you because I mean, kids have such great insights and it's so fun to actually listen to the way that they think about things. And I have another thing to share, which I'm excited about, a little nervous about, but I think it'll be good. So if you stay tuned until the end of the video, you will hear about that, and maybe it's something that could inspire your own children to take a step forward in their own creative journey. Enjoy this chat with the kids, and remember to stay tuned to the end to learn about the special thing I have coming. Kid Chat! Before the pandemic, I was running a weekly children's writers cafe, which was really challenging, really rewarding. But then lockdown happened, and of course we couldn't meet anymore. So I carried things on through the rest of winter and spring, meeting with the kids on Zoom, which was quite chaotic, but still really kind of special. I thought it would be really fun to invite some of those kids into conversation about my new book. And only a couple of them were available to do it, but we did have a fun chat about writing and my book and some of the process. They had some great questions.
Kid Chat.
So, I wrote another book.
Yes.
Did you know that?
Yes. Mom told me to get questions in advance, so I have a booklet.
You have questions already? I love that.
If you were going to make a movie of your book, how would it look in theory?
Well, I think it would be kind of a quiet movie. So the story takes place in a small town that I based on Durham. So Aurora, you really know Durham. And
Yeah.
Paige, you've been to Durham lots. So
Yes.
So picture a movie set in a small town like that. So there's a big hill with a church on the top or up the hill, and the library, and some of the stores are even in the book, but I've changed names and stuff.
Yeah.
So you'd see stuff like that. When you guys write stories, do you get inspiration from the areas around you?
Not really.
Not really?
When I write my stories, I get inspiration from other stories and incorporate it into my own way.
Yeah. I think that every story that we make up is influenced by stuff all around us. So it could be movies we saw, books we read, it could be our own town, it could be people that we meet. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Do you have another question?
Elena,
Yes.
if you were going to continue the series, what other characters would you add?
Well, there's a whole part of the series, mostly in the first book, that talks about a place called Harridan Bluffs, which is an old ski resort that some people took over and live in. And there's a lot of children and a lot of women. And I think I would like to do a story about that if I ever wanted to add another book to the series.
Okay.
But that would be like stuff that happened in the 1960s.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. When you guys choose a book, what do you look for in your book? What do you think is important to make you want to buy a book or take a book out of the library?
I have a variety of books.
Yeah.
It's like I prefer series, so I like there's different characters almost each book.
Right.
That's just my opinion.
What about you?
We do not need many more books. This is just upstairs.
Oh my goodness.
We still have tons downstairs.
So
This is just my room.
What makes you guys want to pick up a book? Do you think a cover is important, or do you like fun title? Do you like just reading things by the same author all the time?
Well, one of my favorite authors is Rick Riordan, but I usually like to go with the art, but sometimes I usually like to go with the art.
Yeah.
But sometimes, like random books that people suggest to me, I read.
Ooh, guts. Cool.
Or books by family members.
Nice. What about you, Aurora?
I just find a book, and if I think it looks good, then I read it.
So you're not afraid to try something new?
No.
Yeah. Good. Have you read anything good lately?
I just finished reading the 4th Harry Potter book.
Ooh.
And I read a story about a girl who, like, it's like a weird story about, like, a bunch of different, like, magic things, and there's, like, this cloak thing that, like, this guy puts the cloak around people, and then, like, it sucks them in.
Oh
and it's really weird.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do your books that you read ever give you weird dreams?
Nope.
No? Wow, good. I've had some weird dreams from books. And I'm hoping that my book doesn't give people weird dreams, because it's kind of a sad story. I don't want to give people sad dreams.
Okay, if you were going to get an artist to draw your characters, what, in theory, would they look like?
What would the characters look like? Or what would the
Yes.
artist look like?
What would the characters in your typical art look like?
Oh, like would it be cartoon or anime, or is that what you mean? Or realistic?
Yes, or picture, all that stuff.
Do you know Van Gogh, Starry Night?
Yes.
Yeah? No, you don't know Aurora? No. So like thick, heavy oil painting, kind of old fashioned, vibrant colors, kind of a little bit creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you were going to make your book into a video game, how would it be?
There's a lot of moving in my book. So people moving to different places to live.
Okay.
So I wonder if it could be like you choose where you want to live and you have to set up your new apartment. Would that be weird?
Well, there's a lot of weirder games out there,
Yes, it doesn't sound very
and
exciting.
some of them are hits, and some of them aren't.
Right. I think it'd be kind of fun to set up an apartment.
Yeah.
So I have characters that live in a chicken shed and in a storage unit at like a storage facility, and in an apartment over a tobacco store,
Okay.
and a parsonage. Do you know what a parsonage is?
No.
It's like a house that goes along with a church where a pastor and his family might live.
Okay.
And I have someone lives in a camper van, like my camper van. So
Your
lots of,
dream vehicle.
yeah, that's right. So lots of weird places to live. So I think the game would be about finding a place to live.
Okay.
Out of all those options, where would you want to live?
Probably
Good.
Camper van.
The camper van. What Aurora?
camper.
Camper. Yeah, we're all hippies at heart, right? Nice.
Well, I just don't want to live in a chicken shed.
I wouldn't really want to live in an apartment over a tobacco store.
I know, it'd probably smell, right?
Yeah.
And there's someone else who lives over a factory, so they would hear all the factory noises.
Oh.
And there's a couple people who live in a normal house,
Normal house.
but one of the houses is falling apart.
Not that one.
So what are your favorite kind of characters to read about?
My favorite series of books is like Horrible Histories.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. So it just tells like its history in like a way that does not make it like seem nice or anything.
So you like how the characters react in that situation?
Yeah, it's funny.
Oh. Even though it's horrible?
I think it's funny.
Oh.
Yeah, my mom put on the TV show. She's like, "Wow, this is gruesome."
What about you, Paige?
I like to read about like mythology, like a lot of Rick Riordan books with mythology and I like to like made up creatures like dragons and stuff.
Yeah.
And I also like people like kind of make comic books of their life stories that change their life.
Right. There he is.
Oh.
Hi, Brennan.
Hi.
How are you? We were just talking about what kind of characters we like to read about in books. Do you have some favorites? Have you been reading any more of your sports books? Yes? All right, so I want you guys to tell me why you think it's important that we tell stories and that we have books.
So we don't rot our brains on TV.
That's a good answer. Yeah. What else?
So we can use our imagination and be intrigued and to write our own.
Yeah, be inspired.
Reading helps us learn.
Yeah. All kinds of reading?
Not really, but You could.
Still, you're exercising your brain, right? What do you think, Brennan? Why are stories important?
I'm trying to think of different types of like stories.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking of like a comic book.
So you like comic books?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that reading is an important part of your day?
Well, yeah, because it makes me tired, so I fall asleep.
Okay. Nice. What about you, Paige? Is reading an important part of your day?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Why?
Reading didn't exist. If reading didn't exist, I would probably be out of my mind already from quarantine.
Mm. So it's a good escape?
Yes, it's calming, and I can leave this world behind.
Right.
Go to
Mm-hmm.
I won't be surprised if someday they make like a book or a movie about this.
They
Because
probably
like
will.
chaos so far.
Yeah,
And people like books and movies about chaos.
they
So,
do. Yeah. Would you watch that movie?
probably.
Would you read that book?
Yeah, probably.
Mm-hmm. Would you read the book first before you watch the movie?
Probably.
Yeah.
That's how it should always be.
What?
It should always be read the book before the movie.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they change the movie so much, like a lot of the books.
Mm-hmm.
If you made a merch design, what would it be?
A merch design.
Yes, it's like your own clothes for your book.
I think for this book, it would have birds on it. Do you know why?
Okay.
Do you know what my book is called?
Nope.
No? Blackbird.
Okay.
So I think I would do things with birds, and I would also want to do things with tattoos. What do you guys think about tattoos?
Well, my
Sounds
aunt is
cool.
giving tattoos.
I know.
I'm just waiting till I'm old enough to get one.
What would you get?
Probably a snake.
You're crazy.
I think tattoos just are painful. They look painful. They sound painful.
So you wouldn't get one?
No.
No. There are lots of tattoos in my book. But I've
Tattoos-
never had one.
Tattoos are cool in theory, but literally, I feel like they would hurt. Like getting permanent ink in your skin and getting needles.
Yeah.
So apparently that's how they do it. Hurts. I'll just stick with the non-temporary tattoo. I'll just stick with the temporary tattoos that you put on before.
All right. But Aurora, you're not afraid of the needle?
No.
No.
One of my aunts, apparently if you push right here, she'll like faint or something.
Oh no.
So she's a bit of afraid to get a tattoo like that. But I think she already got one.
And have you watched someone get a tattoo?
Yeah, my Uncle Mark, my mom, my dad, a little bit.
Oh dear, Brennan.
How did you do that?
Spider behind you!
How did you?
Bite your head off!
When did you publish your first book?
It was, when was it? 2017. So that's how many years ago? 3 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and this one took me a long time to write. I started this one in 2011.
Wow.
Whoa.
What's the longest it's ever taken you guys to write a story?
A day.
A day. That's amazing.
I've only written comics, and those are short ones.
How about you, Paige? How long has it taken you to write a story before?
Well, I'm writing a story right now, and it's been taking me like all quarantine and not finished.
And you know what? That's okay because it took me 9 years to write my book.
So when I was 2, you started this book.
Yeah.
Probably when Gideon was like just a tiny little baby.
Isn't that crazy? Can you imagine working on the same story for that long?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine it.
You think it gets boring?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Yes, Paige?
How would you publish a book on your website?
Well, I didn't publish it on my website. I published it through my publishing company, which means I have to pay somebody else to print it up for me. So that's what this is like the first printed copy. See how it has this little banner on it? That means this is just an early pretend copy, not a real one. So, and see all these tabs in here? That's where I found mistakes in it. So I'm going to get the mistakes fixed. And then we're going to print a whole bunch of them. And then your moms can buy them.
I want to read it.
You want to, well, you can read it when you're older. You can't read it yet. Is that no fair? Pardon?
Oh, it's chill. It's chill.
It's chill? What do you mean by that?
Cool.
All right. Good. You'll be able to read it when you're older.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for coming to talk to me. Appreciate you guys. Keep writing stories, reading good books. It was nice to talk to you. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Bye, guys.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
I am going to relaunch the Writers Cafe for kids on Zoom. I am going to host a March break Writers Cafe writing camp-ish thing. So if you have a child between the ages of 9 and 12 who has shown an interest in storytelling, in writing stories, in reading, who's imaginative, who you think might benefit from something like this, I am opening up room for 8 children to join with me in the afternoons throughout March break, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 1 p.m. for 30 to 40 minutes. We're going to work through the curriculum I developed for the original Writers Cafe. The whole idea behind that original curriculum was to familiarize children with their own unique writing voice. And it was a really fun undertaking for me, and I think it did some good work among those kids, and I'd love to share that with other children. So there will be a link below this video where you can go and sign your children up. Please register before March 1st because there is a special package that your child will get in the mail from me. The package will include a workbook that goes through all the lessons so they can follow along with me. I'm also going to include some hot chocolate because what is a cafe without a hot drink? While we work together, I'm also going to throw in some colored pens and post-it notes. Just a cute little package to get them on their way. If you don't want the mailing, you'll enjoy a little bit of savings if you opt out of that. And then I will just send you a PDF digital version of the workbook that you can print off at home for your child. But I would recommend that they do have the printed work in front of them so that it's easy to follow along and they don't get left behind. If you have questions, please reach out. I am only opening this to 8 kids to start. We'll see how it goes. If I find that it works well, we'll do it again. So if you use the code CAFEWRITE at checkout, you will get 20% off the registration fee for this workshop. So please do that before March 1st. I am excited to meet your kids and launch them off into the world of storytelling.